man. Let's talk about it.
So, man,
Oop.
first of all, I saw a yeah, video that you made probably I think it was maybe last week or something. Kind of just popped into my brain because this movie was fantastic. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, I was gonna ask you if you saw it.
Oh my God, man. Have you seen it? First of all,
I have, yeah. I saw it last week. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
yeah, that's awesome.
Like, it was so like between the I'm not going to spoil it for people because who knows, maybe somebody hasn't seen it, but I'm not going to spoil it. But just from start to finish, just a masterpiece. I don't even I don't know. I was laughing the entire time. I do it is one of those movies though. I think it's like the other two where I have to go back and I have to rewatch it. I feel like because I feel like there were so many things that were happening at once during certain parts of it that I was like, wait, hold on, whoa,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
what just happened here? You know
Some,
what I mean? You got it, like you understood it, but you were also like, wait, I have to. Okay, the movie's still going, but I got to go back at some point. Um, but yeah, you made that video about the fuck knuckles, and I was like,
yeah, about the fuck knuckles. Yeah.
so good.
What in the fuck knuckles is this?
One of
Oh,
the
is it?
best, one of the best lines in the movie. Uh,
I'm just surprised anybody would date you, especially Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony. Yeah, that was a great line. Yeah, I had to do like a crash course because or like crash session real quick because I couldn't remember. I know I saw Deadpool too, but I was like, why don't I remember like anything that happened? And it had been a while, so I was like, a crash course. That's what I meant. And I had to watch it, and I'm watching like in like half of the movie. I'm like, I don't remember any of this.
right?
It was, and it wasn't like the first half I didn't remember or the second. It was literally just like random parts throughout the movie where I would be like, oh yeah, 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 I remember this, and then there would be something another scene right after that. I'm like, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
When did I watch this? Who did I watch this with? Was I
You know,
asleep?
like
Like,
I think anything with like sequels and trilogies and stuff, I feel like you have to do that though. You have to give yourself, like you were saying, you got to go back. Maybe go back and watch the other movies. Like, I think in certain cases, like especially with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think that can be a little bit difficult sometimes, just
yeah, it,
because, dude, there's so many movies that like certain part, but yes, like, but I think that's what I always give Marvel credit for is that they always do such a good job of tying everything together that you don't really it's like, oh man, do I want to go back and watch all of these? But then at the same time you're like, they also do such a fantastic job of this. Like I can't it's like I got to catch myself up somehow. um so yeah, I was like that though in a couple parts as well. Then I was like, oh wait a minute. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And I find it funny that I saw this on Threads. There's fans that are calling for Hugh Jackman to say that he's on steroids during this movie
like
because of
in the
his
movie,
physique and whatnot. And I'm just like, you do realize like Hugh Jackman has always been
jacked man.
he's always been jacked. It's like if that's the way you want to put it. Like I just love how that just randomly popped up on my Threads feed. And I go, when did I ask for this? Like what, what, what is going on here?
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's it's
Now, I
ridiculous. Whatever.
did you have any of it spoiled before for you at all?
No, thank God. Thank
Lucky.
God. Actually, to tell you the truth, okay, what I really try to make an effort to do is to stay off of social media. Um, if there's something that I really want to watch, like if it's a
Yeah.
show or a movie or whatever, like I want to make sure that I don't spoil it for myself because unfortunately that happened with One Tree Hill, and I am so upset. I was so upset that that it got spoiled for me because
You found out there wasn't just one, right?
yeah,
Is that was
I
that
found out there were nine, in
there's
fact. Like there
there's
like
yeah.
yeah, it's insane. Just nine seat, that's one of the shows actually that Bianca got me hooked on. between Vampire Diaries, which I had never seen up until a couple of years ago, and then on top of that, now One Tree Hill. But there was something that got spoiled for me, and actually, good old TikTok. I was just scrolling through, and then all of a sudden, like, do you know that the theme song that they play, or like the intro song, is Gavin DeGraw, "I Don't Want to Be,"
Oh,
right?
okay. All
Okay,
right. All right.
so okay,
So I've never seen the show.
okay.
But I've definitely done like at least one or two TikToks with that sound in it, and like
Yes, everybody's
everybody
like,
comments like,
"Oh my
"Oh
God, One
yeah,
Tree Hill."
One Tree Hill." I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're
What do
talking
you
about.
mean?
I just,
So,
but okay, that makes sense. Okay,
so like because like on the for like spoiling and everything like that, I got there was a I played one video, saw one video where the cast of One Tree Hill always they make an effort, or they always make it a an event to go back to Tree Hill High School in North Carolina. They go back, they have all the actors and actresses come back, and the actors legitimately play a basketball game.
oh, I think I've seen that. I think I did see that
Okay.
recently.
So
Yeah.
I interacted with one of them, and I was like, and I go, "Oh man, Bianca would love to see this because she loves One Tree Hill. She loves Chad Michael Murray and James Lafferty and all these guys like that are on the, they're in the show." And the next thing I know, I keep scrolling and I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's see what's next." It, it there was a part of it that got spoiled for me. I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't even know if you would ever see it at
It's
some
fine.
point. Okay. No. Okay. But
You
all
you
I'm
already
saying,
you already ruined that. There's not just one Tree Hill.
just,
So
I hate that I did that for you. I'm sorry.
yeah.
But at this, but it, so it's basically the season. It's one of the seasons where Chad Michael Murray's character, and I don't know who plays the blonde woman. Her name is Peyton Sawyer in the show, but she's married to the guy from Walking Dead. She's married to like the main guy, the guy who has the bat from Walking Dead. Yeah,
Oh
he-
wait, wasn't she one of the VJs on TRL?
she
Hillary
might have
something?
been. She
Is it
might have
Hillary?
been. Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah,
so.
because
Yeah, yeah,
I literally just came across her like a couple months ago on like
yeah,
one of those it was a documentary about, I think, maybe it was either about Napster or something, maybe about, might have been about TRL where she was on talking
yeah,
about it. And I was like, "Oh
yeah,
shit, I remember her."
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
So
I
that's
did a
so
deep dive and I'm like, "Oh, she's married to Negan?" Oh,
right. Negan. Okay. They've been together forever, by the way, like at
apparently.
least 20 plus years. But so her character and his character don't end up coming back after season 7. And I got
Oh,
that spoiled for me. I got that spoiled for me because there was a TikTok where it was like a behind the scenes type thing. And I was like, oh, this might be pretty cool. Chad Michael Murray's just talking out of character, whatever. I always like to see that real side of the characters when they're not, when they're not filming.
right.
And so all of a sudden he's just talking to somebody and he goes, yeah, they're not, he's like, yeah, they're not bringing us back. And that's what it leads with. And I go, what? No, no, I've already heard it. Shit. I don't want to. And I looked at Bianca and I'm like, I am so pissed that
That sucks.
that they're not bringing them back. And she looks at me and she goes, "Where did you find that? What is get off of your phone?" And I go, "No, it's not my fault. I showed you the TikTok where
I wasn't looking for it. Yeah.
I wasn't looking for it. I'm like, they have the charity basketball game that they do. They have the guys come out and they have them play. And I thought that would be really cool to show you." She goes, "Yo, it's really great, but I'm so upset that you got it spoiled for yourself." And I go, well, we just got to keep moving past this. I mean, we still have 2 more seasons to go. So, um,
It's
yeah.
over though, right?
Oh,
Or
it's
is it
been
still
over.
going? Okay.
It's been over for a very long time. Trust me.
Okay.
But it's like we have it on like Disney Plus, and like Disney Plus did a Hulu
Hmm.
thing as well, like that bundle. And yeah, so we've been watching that, and yeah, I mean it's pretty fantastic. But going back to spoilers and stuff, I try to stay off of social media as much as I can. I think like have you ever had anything spoiled for you, like unexpectedly, and like you weren't even looking for it? Okay,
All
you
the
were
all the
all the
time.
time. See, that
Yeah.
sucks. I don't
Man,
I hate
listen,
that.
I'm when you're a like a pro wrestling fan in the social media era, you're always gonna get shit spoiled for you. So like I'm
Ugh.
very much used to it. Some shit it's like it's my own fault because it's like I subscribe to these or I follow these people that are it's gonna eventually come. So it's like I like so specifically with wrestling, I'll say I watch usually on a delay. So it's like I record it, but I'll
Yeah.
watch it like I'll start like a half an hour, 45 minutes later, or whatever, so I can fast forward through commercials and shit. And without even really paying attention, or I might even just watch it even later, without even paying attention, I'll just open my phone, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads now, even TikTok. Sometimes I'll not even paying attention, and all of a sudden, it's like the first thing that pops up, it'll be like something that happened in like the first segment of the show, and I'm like, oh, well, well there we go, great.
You're like,
But
damn
it's
it.
like I can't be mad at it because I'm like, well, I'm kind of doing this to myself. Like it sucks, but I kind of did this to myself. But like with Deadpool and Wolverine, um, I did have something spoiled for me, but I didn't realize it was spoiled for me until it actually happened in the movie. If that makes
Okay.
so, like
Yeah.
there were surprises in the movie, and I became aware of them, but I wasn't aware they were for that movie. I should have known. Like thinking about it, I'm like, oh, I should have known that's what it was for. But it was like at the Comic Con, they had a bunch of
Okay.
come out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had saw that before the movie, but I didn't even realize what it was for. I was just like, oh yeah, they're saying these people are showing up as a surprise, maybe to help the crowd, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then once during the movie, I was like, oh, oh, well, I guess yeah, that checks out. That makes sense. So it was like spoiled for me, but it wasn't because it's like I technically wasn't expecting it, but once it started happening, I was like, oh, I probably should have known beforehand.
I was pleasantly surprised by all the cameos.
Yeah. I
Not
feel
gonna
like this is a
say
safe. I feel like we can talk about. It's been like what
is it a
2 weeks.
safe space? Do you think it is?
I think
Because
it's
I don't
been.
I don't want to keep
Look,
the I
listen.
don't
If
yeah,
if
yeah.
anybody's listening and you haven't seen it, fast forward,
To
like
yeah,
either
just fast
enter at your
forward.
own risk.
Yeah,
I feel like
exactly.
it's been long. I feel like 2 weeks is enough time.
That's been a
I feel
while.
like
It's
yeah,
probably on Disney Plus by now. I mean,
yeah, right.
it'll-
They're probably
it'll-
already in production for Deadpool 4. So,
yeah, yeah,
I think we can. I think we can openly talk about it now.
it's
You
fine.
fast forward, come back in a
Yeah,
couple 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll be done. But yeah,
yeah.
no. Which cameos was your favorite?
Okay, one of the better cameos that I was it
So
was Chris.
you had no prior like knowledge about these,
I
right?
had no prior knowledge. Listen, I had knowledge that there were cameos, but I had no like even hints at who they might be, right?
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no hints whatsoever. Um it, Chris Evans.
Oh,
Chris Evans
yeah.
as the flame. I
Yeah.
really
That
thought
was
he was gonna
brilliant.
be as soon as he
Everybody
popped,
thought
everybody thought it was gonna be like Captain America, and like
he's
everybody was gonna be
back.
so pumped about it. He's back. And then the next
Steve
thing you know,
Rogers is back.
Steve Rogers. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
flame on. And I go, no,
No. Yeah, that was such a brilliant swerve.
it was so
Yeah.
good. I don't know who the director of this movie was. I've seen his name pop up on Instagram a ton of times. I so much, so much genius throughout the entire movie. But that was definitely one of my favorites. Like I couldn't even it just I couldn't even get myself past like I couldn't stop laughing for a good couple of minutes and there was still stuff going on and I'm like I'm still on the fact that Chris Evans is in this movie as the flame.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really good. That I did not have spoiled for me.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it was the other group that showed up later with
Oh man, with oh my
Blade,
God. Blade
Gambit, and was it Electra? Electra, right?
Electra.
That
Yeah.
was Jennifer Garner, right?
Blade,
So yeah,
Gambit, and Electra and Channing Tatum playing Gambit. What?
oh my god, whoo! I'm about to make a name for myself here. That meme has been blowing up on
Uh,
social media.
who
Oh,
is your
he
di
was so good.
who is your okay? My that is one of my favorite
Who's your
interactions.
dialect
Who's your
coach?
dialect coach?
Who's your
Because
dialect coach? Because I didn't understand a
because I
word you just said.
have no idea
Yeah.
what you just said. We need to work on it. Um, that was pretty awesome. I loved I love that they brought back the girl from Logan too. I thought
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that was pretty
Yeah.
awesome. She
So
was
they had all of them. They had all of them at the San Diego Comic-Con. So
okay.
I had seen like some. I saw a clip. It was Wesley Snipes who posted it because like he got this huge pop like from the crowd. Like oh, I was like oh, good for him, awesome. Didn't even like register.
Put two and two
Didn't put
together.
two and two
Yeah.
together. Like oh yeah, these people are all going to be in this movie because I did see that Ryan Reynolds was up there, but I was
Right.
just like oh maybe this is for a future movie that they're
Yeah.
doing or something. And
Yeah.
I my thankfully my own you know naiveness, which
Not
is
being
my
able to, I listen, I wouldn't have been able to put it together either at that point because I'm just so focused, because I'm focused on so many different things at that point. I feel, I'm just like, I'm like, oh
yeah
man, this is so great. And I'm not even, my mind isn't even going there. Oh, possibly going to be in the movie. Yeah. No, no,
yeah
it's
probably
not.
should have seen it coming. Like in
Yeah.
hindsight, absolutely. Like what
Yeah.
an idiot. But
Cause I,
in the
cause I
moment, I'm
think,
like, oh, that's cool.
well, cause I went with, yeah, because I went with my dad and his two brothers, and he like, yeah, like Keith says, he's like, I'm gonna invite Frank, I'm gonna invite Kevin, and it'll be good. Like we'll have a good time. And then Frank, who's really into movies, like all he's into all sorts of movies, um, says, I think they're making a Blade 4. I and I was like, oh, all right. Well, hey, this is like a warm up for him. I mean, he gets to get back into the swing of things because I know it's been a while for him, but I think he might have been in the Expendables at one point too, maybe, possibly. But either way, man, yeah, it was pretty great. I was very happy with it, pleasantly surprised by all the cameos and stuff. And again, the one-liners, the dialogue and everything, it's just amongst with everyone it was just so great. So I couldn't. Ah, man.
Yeah. So speaking of the Marvel Universe and that Comic Con,
Hmm.
did you see? I'm
I
sure you
did.
saw
Oh, yeah,
for the
yeah,
next villain. What are your thoughts? What are your teas?
man. If we're talking about the same person, I just want to make sure, like, Doomsday, Doctor Doom.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm confused. Which I think to be okay. I'm confused, but I'm not upset at the same time.
Okay.
I'm not, and the reason why is because I feel like there's a way. I feel like there's got to be some way that they're going to tie something into this, right?
Right.
I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like the directors, especially the directors that are coming back, who made like Endgame and the Avengers movies. I feel like they've got something up their sleeve to make this make sense. And
Hmm.
I'm happy, like, and I'm happy for Robert Downey Jr. Like I'm happy that he gets to be a part of kid continues to gets to have the opportunity to continue to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because I love him as an actor. He's great. Like
Oh yeah.
he played that Iron Man part so well, as everybody very well knows by
Hmm.
this point. So those are my thoughts. I'm confused at how they're gonna do it, but I'm not upset why they did it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd love to hear from you though, because I know we're both huge fans. So
Yeah. Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, "Yo, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I love this
you're
just
excited.
because." Yeah, I mean, they had to do something. Unfortunately, with Kang and with uh,
I that went sideways. That A lot of that went sideways, didn't it? Like, yeah,
yeah, unfortunately, they
yeah,
had to make a move. I understand it. It sucks for them, sucks for the franchise, sucks for my man. I forget his name. I'm blanking at his name right now. Uh, but yeah, they had to do something,
yeah,
and apparently they were just like, "You still got RDJ's number? You still got it, right? Yeah." But like, and the biggest reason why I loved it is because I was literally just talking about pro wrestling. This was the most pro wrestling thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. Dude
yeah,
unmasks and it's like and it's Robert Daly. Come on. Like this
yeah.
was the classic oh babyface good guy hero.
Not to
He goes
mention,
down and all of a sudden he gets revealed as the new big villain. And it's just like that was the most pro wrestling thing I've ever seen in my life. How
yep,
can I not love this? Like this is perfect. Like I don't know if they're gonna I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm excited to see how it goes.
yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
I'm here's the thing. I'm very like, not to mention like just puts his arms up and he's
Yes.
just like he just put his arms up as soon as he took off the mask and you're just sitting there and you're like, yeah, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. He's got
Pretty
you got to
great.
embrace that villain role and like, oh,
I'm trying to find his name, by the way. I've been searching on threads and I just looked up Kang Dynasty and I can't, it's not showing the
it's
name. It's
killing me
not,
that Jonathan Majors. Got
there
it.
we go.
There it
Okay.
is. There it
Yes.
is. Wow.
Yes. Jonathan Majors. Because I mean,
I literally just
he
literally
did,
kept wanting to say Jonathan Kang. I'm like, that's not his, that's who he
that's not
plays.
it.
That's not his. You're combining the two. But yeah, Jonathan Majors. That's who it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, their hands were kind of tied there, so like they kind of had to pivot, and it sucks that they kind of wait. I don't say waste, but they kind of did waste this entire like,
This entire time they did, especially with
yeah,
like Loki, you know, Loki and
because
stuff. I mean,
they were clearly rearing him up to be the massive next villain of this next like
right.
you know
Exactly. Exactly. But now,
wave.
yeah, but then everything that went down. I don't know the specifics of everything, but what I do know from just, observing threads and, all this stuff that's been going on with Comic-Con and whatnot. I mean, yeah, just everything just went, everything just kind of went sideways. And it's just like, all right, well, we got to keep moving here. Otherwise, it's going to get stale. And nobody wants that for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, nobody wants
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
Like I kind of fell off
yeah,
this most recent like
after
where I
Endgame.
saw for the most part like I
Yeah.
saw Wakanda Forever,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
which was beautiful, but and then just this Deadpool with Wolverine, really. Like those are the only two I've really seen
Yeah.
since Endgame. Like I've kind of paid attention, but I haven't even really been watching much of the shows. But I know that they were clearly ramping up for Kang to be huge in this next like wave
Wave.
of
Yeah.
like Thor or not Thor, like Thanos.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the next one, and obviously what shit had happened with Jonathan Majors, they had to switch it up. So I'm like, I mean, honestly, going from like the hero of Endgame and Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Tony Stark. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna tie them together, but what just seeing his face and seeing that he's gonna be the villain now, you're like, oh, all right, yeah, I'm invested. I want to see
Let's
where this
go.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
intrigued.
Absolutely.
I'm
I'm
intrigued for
excited.
sure.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Yeah, I haven't, yeah, gosh. Yeah, I mean they're great. I mean, especially, that the directors that they're bringing back and whatnot. So listen, I mean, if any of you haven't seen Deadpool or Wolverine, or if you haven't seen that Robert Downey Jr. got revealed as Doctor Doom for this upcoming wave of, Marvel, Marvel magic, I guess you could say, hey, I mean, at least now you know, or go see Deadpool and Wolverine. It's freaking
Yeah,
fantastic.
I mean, yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's not like we didn't really spoil like the Robert
we
Downey
didn't
Jr. thing.
spoil a lot of
If
things
you hadn't
anyways.
heard
We
it,
didn't,
like
yeah,
it wasn't
yeah.
like a secret. Like
No, no, not really. Once it came out, it's just like, hey, you're at your own risk at this point.
yeah, I mean, it's
You know
pretty
what I
much
mean?
announced. Like it was announced
It
at
was. Yeah, it
so.
absolutely was. Um,
But
yeah, no, yeah, man. No other gosh, like other than that, I don't know. I've been a little up and down lately. Not gonna lie to you.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
yeah, just I mean, like life is good. Don't get me wrong.
mm-hmm.
Everything is pretty much good. Um, I just haven't but besides today, like, Sunday when we're recording this, um, this I think today was the first day in a week that I had actually like gotten myself into like creative mode and put something together and then um, put it out into,
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, Instagram and stuff like that. I don't really know. I think I got to a point. I mean, college football 25 came out, which did not help. Dude, it did.
There's the answer right
It
there.
has not helped at all. No, and even when
uh,
I listen, when even when I haven't been doing that on my spare time, aside from being with my wife and the kids and stuff, I didn't even hop on the PS5. I was like, man, like I don't know what's going on. Like I feel like I was in a little bit of a funk creatively. Um,
yeah, that
I'm like,
happens.
I'm scrolling through stuff and you know, I think at a certain point you get to where it's like, man, am I consuming a little bit too much and I'm overthinking a lot of this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, so there was a moment and it was awesome. I can't believe this is what sparked it. Can't believe this, but uh we've been celebrating Bianca's birthday pretty much all week. It was her birthday
Birthday
officially.
week.
Yeah, it was officially her birthday on August 6th. And we were, so like took the day off, had a great day with the kids, like took them to a water park and like, so we were still continuing to celebrate after that. So Friday had the day off as well. And we went to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And it's literally like 45 minutes away from where we are. It's very, very good drive. Awesome place to be, super fun, a lot of restaurants, a lot of places to go. Um, and we're passing by this store, like this passing by whatever. I don't even know what kind of a store it was. It had like hats, it had shirts, it had all this really cool stuff. I see this cowboy hat. Told you. Told you it was just completely random. So random. I'm looking at it with my mother-in-law, Maria, and I'm looking at her and I call her mom. I'm like, Mom, do you see this? And she goes, Jimmy, that that's awesome. And I know. I need to go look at this. So I ended up buying a cowboy hat.
Okay. All right.
And it was absolutely listen, I've never owned one before. Okay. I don't even live in the West. I don't live in a town.
Correct.
I don't live in the
Or
South
south.
or the South, whatever. Oh God, the West.
The west. The mid.
I am geographically challenged, apparently. I don't know my directions. But I I put this thing on and and it was weird. It was like some type of energy went through me as soon as I put it on, and I was just like, I'm like, fuck yeah. So
What'd you do with it?
well, I just
You
wore
just
it.
wear it around the house?
I wore it around the house. I think I vacuumed with it. I vacuumed with it on.
No,
I
you
put together
didn't.
I put together my I put together my standing
You did
desk.
not vacuum with it on. No, you did not. Tell
I
me you
did.
did not.
I did. I did. I'm not kidding.
Oh God.
It was so great. I'm walking
Why
around the
was this recorded? Did you make it
no,
was this
no, because
why
I was
why?
so I was so into it. I was just so into it. I didn't even think
I need I
I didn't
need
even I didn't even think to tell I didn't even think to tell Bianca like, like I wanted to use that sound like boot goofing, but it was the
boot
cowboy
goofy.
hat. Boot goofing, like three payments.
Uh
But it was like
Genuine ostrich.
genuine ostrich. So I
Honestly, the
actually
fact honestly the fact that you didn't record it is way funnier to me.
I know.
That you were
I didn't
just
even
doing
I
it for
didn't
your own enjoyment.
I didn't even think about it. I was just so into it. I was so into it. I was like a kid. I was like a kid on Christmas. And that's putting it
Oh
lightly.
man.
My excitement when we left the store and I had it in a bag and I was literally I'm walking next to
Uh,
Maria and she's looking at me like I don't think I've ever seen you this happy when you've bought something. And I go, I don't know why this just completely made my day. So, so I made a, so I recorded something with it um, today before hopping on here to do the podcast. And it's posted. Listen, it's posted and it's out there. And
okay.
I could not be more proud. I could not be more proud. I was just, I've, I think it's so great to have like little moments like
Oh
that are
man.
so unexpected that you can get yourself out of like whatever it is that you're whatever funk it is that you're in, okay?
We all need that our cowboy hat moment. Absolutely. We all need that.
I did need it because I was overthinking so many different things, dude. Like not like it was getting and I was doing it all up here too. I wasn't doing it out loud. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I knew there were more important things. There are obviously more important things to worry about, of course, but at the same time, like this stuff means so much to me because like I want to keep getting better. And we've had that conversation before. Like I don't ever want to stop this just because of how much fun it is, and and how much it actually does like boost the creativity, like the process and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I hope I I needed that. I needed that cowboy hat moment, which I feel
You
like that's what
needed
we
the
should just.
vacuum with.
I feel like we should.
Yeah. Anytime anybody listening, if you're ever going through a creative funk, just grab a cowboy hat, turn that vacuum on, and let those
Clean
juices
your
flow.
house. Clean
Yeah,
your
just let
house,
those
man.
juices flow. Whatever, no, whatever you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it worked. I'm
It
glad that
did. It did. I listen, I don't know what it's gonna do for the rest of the I don't know what it's gonna do starting next week. I don't know what it's gonna do for me starting tomorrow, whatever. I mean, hey, but I felt I finally just like I felt really good about it for the first time in a long time. And um it's just it's going to make for some interesting content going forward. Like I mean I don't know what what I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I mean it'll be other than wearing than wearing it around the house with all the confidence in the world.
I
um
mean, geez. Next time Jimmy gets in a creative funk, he's gonna buy a Kangol hat and power washes outside of his house or something. Oh, that's it. Don't call it a comeback. Oh, yes. There we go.
it was the best.
Oh man,
It
I
was the
love it.
best thing.
I love it. I First I was mad that you didn't record it, but I love the you didn't even think about it. Yeah, you're just yeah.
Yeah. No, I just put it on. I just put it on, it's gonna be
Just
all right.
vacuum it with a cowboy hat. I love it. I love it. That's so funny.
Oh
But no,
man.
like I totally get it, man. Like I think most creators kind of go through that. We all have kind of go through those funks where we're like not feeling as creative or just not feeling like motivated. And I mean, I
Yeah.
definitely have gone through a lot of that this year. Uh, so yeah, I definitely get it. Like I've recently kind of been a little bit more inspired, but there's still some times where I'm like, in my mind, I'm inspired. I'm like, yeah, I should do some stuff. I should go do some content today.
Yeah.
But then I'll be sitting and I'm like,
Mm,
maybe tomorrow,
maybe.
maybe later.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe not. Um, yeah,
Let me get through this episode of One Tree Hill, and then I'll let me get through this episode of Nine Tree Hill, and maybe maybe I can get into some content. No,
what
yeah, no,
doesn't
it, it is great though when something like just hits you, and you're like, ooh, yeah, yeah, okay, and like
Yep.
if you have the time, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna do this right now. Like I can do this right now.
Yeah.
Like I had
Yeah.
that yesterday with after the Team USA won, and I came across this. I don't know if you saw this sound who like remixed the national anthem. It was to like
No.
uh
No, I
when
didn't.
US beat Serbia. Oh my god, it's amazing. This dude, I think his name's Todd, but I don't know his like username. But he's been like remixing like the Star Spangled Banner, like God Bless America, America the Beautiful, to like what happened with U.S. versus Serbia, and then
Hmm.
U.S. versus France in the men's and the women's. Dude is just knocking it out of the park. I think ESPN and or Team USA used his sound for like one of their videos. It's phenomenal. But like I came across that sound or his video, and I was like, oh, this is so funny. This is brilliant. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video with this. So I lip
Yep.
synced his video over a green screen of Steph Curry shooting over Wembanyama, and where I was wearing like a 1992 Dream Team jacket,
Hmm.
like with and I was like, oh, got to do it right now because it's when something's like topical like that, you have to strike right then.
Right. You have
Like
to
you
do
can't
it
wait on it
right
really.
away. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. But but that's where the problem lies for me, where it's like it's not topical, and it's just
Okay.
like I don't need to do that right now. No, this is relatable for anybody anytime. And then I'm like, oh, and then I just keep pushing. Like I have shit in my notepad from like 2 years ago, probably that I still haven't touched. That I'm just like I have like ideas for content that I'm just like, yeah, I'll just do it later. Yeah, that's fine. And then I just keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. And like I was literally looking through some of my notes a couple days ago. I
Yeah.
was scrolling. I'm like, oh, that was a good idea. Why didn't I do that? I just kept pushing because it wasn't like needed at that time. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I could look at it like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'll push it off.
Yeah,
But
it's like yeah,
that's
but see
usually
that
where
that's
where I'm
amazing.
at fault.
That's amazing. That's amazing to me though that I mean, because I've done that. I've done that before too, where it's like I will have this idea that I think is so good, and then the exhaustion just hits me, and I'm like, oh my God, maybe another time. Because if I don't put everything, if I don't put everything into it,
Hmm.
if I don't have all the energy to put into this piece of content that I'm about to record, I mean, depending on like what it is. I mean, I guess like if it's a scene that's not as energetic, maybe a little bit more serious, maybe a little bit more sad, whatever. I mean, then that is where I'm like, okay, maybe I can. Maybe this is what I can pull off today. But there's other time, man, where I'm like, nah, and I do not have the energy for this right now. Like I just don't. And then it's like I will have it. I'll have it earlier on in the day, but then something just hits me. I hit a wall, whatever that is, 3 or 4 o'clock, and I'm like, nope, nope, I'm out, dead, can't do it. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's yeah. I think for me, I got a little too I got a little too caught up in the ups and downs, and then finally again when just having that moment and stuff where it's like, all right, we're cool, we're good. Just needed a. I wish that there was a way that we could reset without. Well, I don't even know if you want to call it that. Like being able to reset without being like punished by the algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, and it kind of sucks that you have to it kind of sucks that I mean taking breaks and stuff and like for your own mental health especially away from social media is definitely worth it. There's no way that I would never there's no way that I would say, no, I'm going to push past this just because I'm not doing this for social media. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to ever get to that point. So even though it sucked that I was in this funk for like a week and I wasn't hard on myself though. Wasn't hard on myself about it. I just said, "Hey, I don't have the energy to do it. I'm out
Yeah.
like for right now, That's just how it is. So I just have to, it'll come back
And
to
that's
me.
okay. That's okay.
Right. It'll come back to me. Yeah. And for the first, I've gotten better about not I've gotten better about not caring, which is good. So, and hey, it was great. I got to enjoy my cowboy hat moment with pure joy and
Yeah.
positivity.
If you didn't have that, you wouldn't get the cowboy hat moment. So
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
you gotta take that balance, you know?
Yeah.
Without the lows, you wouldn't get that high of backing
Right.
with the cowboy hat.
Right. Exactly.
It's
Exactly. You just got to
life of a
keep
creator.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to keep going and stuff. It doesn't, it doesn't help though, is like, I don't know if you see this. I don't know if you see this. I mean, again, I just spend a lot of my time on threads. I don't do Twitter. So I deleted Twitter, deactivated my Twitter account a long time ago. But seeing it, like people even talk about it on threads where they're just like, hey, do you think it's better to be YouTube famous or TikTok famous? And I'm like, what kind of a question is that? Like, I'm like, and then they broke it down they
It's I
I
would say YouTube.
yeah they broke it down. They're just like, well, it's better to be YouTube famous because your videos can be seen at literally any time. TikTok controls controls who sees your content and stuff like that. And I'm like this doesn't this doesn't help. This doesn't help anything.
Mm.
Why are we still even talking about this again? Something else on my threads feed that I didn't really ask for. So
But to answer your question, it's probably YouTube, I would imagine.
I would imagine. I
Much
guess
larger audience, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. But I mean, there's no way that I would be I mean the only thing
Probably
that I the
probably
only
much better financially, too, I would say. I'm guessing much better financially, I'm assuming too.
yeah. Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, the only thing that I really ever put on YouTube is the stuff that we do here. So, I mean, like that's pretty much it. I don't do anything else.
Until you start putting more vacuum videos on. That's gotta be the next step. That's what they want.
I'm gonna keep going back to that and just being like, why did I not think to record as soon as I started wearing that hat around the house?
It's honestly priceless that
It's
you did.
I think it makes for a
It's
great
so much funnier.
It makes for a
That you were
great
just like,
story.
yeah, it's so much funnier to me. Like I selfishly, I wish you did make a video just so we could all see it, but realistically, it's so much funnier that you didn't feel the need, that you were just like, no, this is just life. I like this new hat. I want to vacuum.
This is life.
Just
This
doing
is
household chores in your cowboy hat.
this is life. Oh my God.
Uh, yeah, that's it.
I mean, hey,
But
I
yeah,
mean,
man, yeah,
what are you gonna do? But I mean, have you ever
yeah.
had have
But
you ever
no,
had that have you ever had that cowboy hat type moment? Have you had that ever? Like,
I mean, not the exact scenario, I don't think, no. But I mean, I can't think of anything specific, but I'm sure I have. I mean,
yeah,
in 4 plus years of making content, I'm sure I've had some moments where I'm just like, aha, you have that aha moment, something like that. But I mean, like I said, I had a moment, so, like I mean, like I said, when I've been making content still, but not like as regular as previous as I was before. But I had that moment yesterday where I was like, oh yeah, yeah, let's do this.
yeah,
Like those moments help me for sure, where it's like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I have to do it now, because if another day or two passes, it's gonna be old news, where it's like I typically don't necessarily like to do like topical content necessarily, because I like stuff that lasts,
yeah,
but you definitely have to put some in there occasionally. And it's like if I'm talking about it, whether it's like election related, that's comical, or something like that, where I'm like, "Ooh, that'd be funny." Like I can't be like BMO, who is just doing this every
dude,
single day,
dude.
and
Oh my God.
like I can't be like Brian, like I can't be like him. But occasionally, like if there's like a basketball game, or if there's something wrestling related, like I mean, I talk about wrestling all the time, but as far as like doing a skit or something,
Right.
that, oh yeah, maybe that might make sense. Or like I said with the Olympics, though, if something like that comes along and I get an idea, I'm like, okay, well, I have to do it now. Like I can't put this off. As opposed to if I'm like, ooh, if I see a scene from New Girl or Friends or something like that, oh, I want to do that. Like I don't have to do it right then and there.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Exactly.
show's been over for for 20 years. Like there's no like desire for it, like specifically like, oh, I gotta do this now before it's too late. So like those do help me get off like the schneid, get off the bench when a moment like that hits me.
Yeah.
But like even something relatable, where it's like adult relatable content, something like that, where it's like I have something in my drafts about like when your phone recommends a password for you, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, or it recommends like a strong password, where it's like kind of condescending, like, what are you saying about my passwords?
What do you
Like you
say?
don't like my passwords? Like, yeah.
I didn't even think about
But like something like
it.
that, I don't need to post that right away. But yeah, something like that, I don't need to post right away, because like that's gonna be relevant for a while. Like I don't need to do this right now. So like
Right.
I might write something in my notes where I'm like, oh yeah, this is a great idea. I'll do this. I want to do that. But like there's no rush on it, because
It's
like
not
unless
it's
I
not
have
it's
a
not
a
trendy.
self deadline.
Yeah, it's not trendy. It's not trendy
Right,
or
exactly.
like topical. Yeah, like you were
Like
saying, trendy or topical right now. Like you don't
it's not
have
gonna
to.
lose it's not gonna lose relevance.
Right.
Right. So like the Olympics, like you have like a 2 to possibly 3 week window for that, like for that kind of content, really.
Yeah.
But like something like your phone, like that's not really going away.
No.
So
No.
shit like
No.
that, yeah. Stuff like
Right.
when stuff like that pops up to my head, I'm like, okay, I have to do this now, or I'm just not gonna
It's never gonna
do it at
happen.
all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or it's never gonna happen or wait another 4 year and no wait another 4 years until the Olympics comes back.
exactly, exactly,
Just have it in
exactly.
your
Yeah,
notepad.
I'll
Have it in
just
your
keep this in
notepad
my.
for 4 years.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
already had it. You already
I
had
mean,
some
there
ideas
are
in there
some
for
stuff in
two.
there from. I mean, dude, I have some probably longer than 4 years in there still.
Oh my God.
I have notes from like 2016 in there.
You know how you will okay, you know how you're talking about
Whoops,
you're talking about
whoops.
you're talking about BMO Prince. First of all, I didn't know his name was Brian. That's even better. Um But Ian,
It,
like him
uh,
and him and
breaking
Ian,
kayfabe. Yeah.
yeah, him and Ian, Ian Brownhill, like the way that they've both
Yep.
actually done a lot of, they've really like upped their games as far. Well, obviously BMO has done it for a while, pretty much ever since I started in 2020 making content. Committing myself fully to making content. Obviously he's been doing it. He creates his own skits. Then you also have Ian, who has been, upping his game as well. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how that is still the piece. That is still the it's not the missing piece, but it's still a piece that I want to just get better at. I would love to create skits.
Mhm.
It's just so hard. It's so hard for me to not, and I don't want to say that it's hard to come up with original ideas. It's just hard when you are trying to go from like from like doing a bunch of lip syncs, which are awesome and hilarious and still really hard to do, depending on which ones you do. But you're just kind of sitting there too, and you're like, but man, like it would be so cool if I were to like showcase a little bit more of my personality and like who I am and everything, and use my own voice, and then people would get to hear that and see that. And I obviously, like if I ever have a thought or if I ever record something and I'm talking to the camera, just me, no lip syncs, like I don't mind doing that, but actually coming up with like a skit, like the plot, like the beginning, middle, end type of stuff, even if it's 30 seconds. That to me is just like difficult to do right now. And
Dude,
my notepad would be scratches and scribbles everywhere. And I'd be like, okay, that makes zero sense. Nobody's gonna understand that.
mhm.
Bye bye. So,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. People don't realize how difficult it is to make skits like that. Like, and at that clip, like putting out videos basically every day.
Mhm.
Ian's putting out videos basically every day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't do you know do you follow Nikki Cass?
Yeah, dude.
He does
Yes.
like he's the kid who does like the skits with like in his backyard with his neighbor watching like
And he's got the
Diane,
Boston, he's got
look
the Boston accent.
like Diane, look. Yeah, he's tackling like like leaf bags or something like that. Like he I saw he put out a video recently where he's talked about his process, and like he now has like a team
Yes.
behind him. It's not just him. Like
I did
he
see
has like a
that.
team.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So like basically he's just a talent where he just records his stuff and everybody else like edits the video and then like they drop it whenever. But like even before that, I'm sure he had to do like you can't like it's so difficult to do those type of skits part-time. Like that has to be like a full-time thing if you are like serious about it. And these are three examples of three of some of the best that you will see on here. Like Nikki's is like a little different because it's not super topical. Like they are relatable, but they're not super topical. Like BMO's very topical a lot of the times, especially when it's like because he does like the 2023, 2024 skits where it's like
Yep.
with God and
Yep.
and whatever.
Yep.
Like but he also has like the millennials versus the Gen X, Gen Z and
Yeah.
Alpha
Yeah.
whatever, which it is topical, but it's not you can like stretch that out through like a year. But like Nikki, yeah, his is interesting because it's great content.
Yeah.
Great content. But it's not like, well, I got to put this out now because it's not going to be relatable in like a few months or whatever. Like his pretty much take like
Well, did you hear?
survives the test of time.
Did you hear his like when he was talking about his process? He said that when he said it was just him, he would, when he would film it, he would
Mm-hmm.
post it that day. Like he wouldn't even
Right.
not even think twice about it. But when he has his team, I even heard him. He's like, Mondays, what we do is we go out and we film like 10 to 15 pieces of content. And I literally, when I heard that number and I was like, at first I said, oh my God, like you're set. You're set. You don't have to worry about shit.
Yeah.
And then I had to think, again. And I said, okay, but he also has a team. And you just said it
Mm-hmm.
yourself. He's just a talent. Now he's just the talent. And not just, I shouldn't say that, but he is the talent who is being recorded by people. These guys are now, he's got a team of people that are helping him out. And of course, not
Yeah.
everybody has that. Not everybody
Right.
has that. No, I
No.
don't even know. I don't even know of probably two or three people besides Nikki Cass who have that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it was just very like, for me, it was very eye opening. Maybe at a certain point, maybe I should dedicate one day to filming more than one or two pieces of content so that I have that ready to go for the week and I don't have to worry about it as much. But then again, it's still hard for me to like it's still hard for me to spend that time. I only have a certain amount of time. You know what I mean?
You have a short window. Yeah.
I have a very short window because as the kids get older, like their naps, I mean, right now, knock on wood, they still nap really well. But once they're up from nap, it's like, all right, we're going. Like we got
Hmm.
what's next to the boys, we playing with the kids and sleep schedules, dinners, breakfast, lunch, all this stuff, right? And it's just it can be really, really hard to balance. And I feel like certain times when it gets a little bit discouraging it can be a little bit discouraging when you see other people who are putting all of this stuff out there and you're just like, damn man, like how do you have all this time? And it's
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
to me, it's even parents. It's even parents who have
Hmm.
kids where I'm just like, how the hell do you have all that time? I need to know. And
Yeah.
but we have to kind of backtrack because we're like, I don't know what their life actually looks like.
Yeah. You don't know what it's like behind the camera.
Yeah,
Right.
I have no
I mean,
idea.
even me, man, like I don't have kids in like was it 3 years ago when I was unemployed for a good amount of the year? I was trying to do like a lot of that where I was like, okay, I want to record a big chunk of content on 1 or 2 days throughout the week. That way I can kind of spread it out and I don't have to worry about this, that, and the other. But then even once I started working, I would try and do that on weekends where I was like, okay, Saturday, I'm going to try and record the bulk of whatever I wanted to do, most like lip sync skits, whatever, and then like I can do small stuff throughout the week. But even that, I'm like, oh man, because I've said before, I'm like a lot of times I'll try and I would push off content until I got my haircut, and I'm like, okay, once I get my haircut and I feel good about myself, now I'm gonna like try and bang out as much content while I have my cut, while I look fresh. And for a while I was doing that, but then sometimes I'd be like, all right, fresh cut, and then the next day I'm like, I don't know,
Right?
maybe tomorrow.
It's just,
It's just like, ugh.
you know
But like
what?
I don't even like I have an excuse, but I don't really have an excuse compared to like other people who are like doing all this shit with like kids and wives and husbands and two jobs, and I'm just like, I got one job and I had no kids, I got nowhere to be, but I'm like,
I know, dude. Yeah,
it's
it's a very
you know,
it's a very, I don't know. It's very hard. It is. I mean,
it's tough. It's
I
tough
think to a,
sometimes.
I think to a certain, and you know what doesn't, I get why I get why people would say this, but they're just like, well, if you love it that much, and I'm like, okay, just, just
Hmm.
give me, but also, did you see Christina? Yeah, I gotta ask you this. Did you see Christina Kirkman's video where she's ranting about how if I'm if I'm coming to you and I'm venting about something, I don't need your positivity. Like I like just let me be just like she literally says it in the video. She's like, let me be a little whiny bitch. She, I'll
What's
send it.
funny is I didn't see that, but I can hear in her voice, I can hear her saying it in like
I will
a
send it to
certain,
you.
I know, I
I will send it to you because
let me be a whiny bitch.
you need it. You need to see it because I feel like it would just, first of all, we've already talked about this. Anything that's usually done by Christina is very like it makes your day. That's just how it is, right?
Yeah,
But because
must
of
see
certain
TV. It's must watch.
because of certain conversations that we've had when it comes to like, just let me vent.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Just let me
yeah,
vent. You would
yeah.
appreciate this to the max. So I will definitely send it to you. It's like it's so
I don't need your thoughts and prayers right now. Just let me be let me bitch and moan right now.
yeah.
Save your thoughts and prayers and just let me bitch and moan.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it was, yeah, it was like I guess like to that point when somebody says, well, if you love it that much, I'm like, hold on. I didn't say that I don't love it. All right. I'm literally
Right.
just being a human being right now. And I am
Yeah.
tired. I'm tired. Like I'm
Hmm.
tired. I'm getting through it. I'm, you know, whoever it is, you with working through your back stuff, and trying to get yourself healthy and getting yourself to a good point. Me with being a dad, spending time with my wife, spending time with the kids, and then still trying to do things for me. Like everybody has like so many different things that they're trying to
Everybody has
balance
their
rather
thing.
than yeah. And I don't like the false like, you know, like the 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 way that people sometimes put out there, like, well, I did this today. While I'm on while their video is of them on a beach drinking a mojito, putting their feet up, and I'm just sitting there and and they're just like, yeah, and I'm gonna go make more content today. And I'm like, do you work? If you don't and you do this as your
That
full-time
is
job,
work.
that's fine. I guess if that's work.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
this is if this is your full-time job, like I totally applaud you. But sometimes that can be misinterpreted by people and they can just and then and then they're like, well, whatever. I don't have this, I don't have a lot of time. And you're just, so it can get a little messy. You know how that is, man. Things can be misinterpreted
Yeah.
so easily.
I will say for me lately, I don't know, you might feel the same way. Uh this is a partial excuse, but it is legit with specifically like with TikTok lately. Like it's the vibe is very different and like
I
things just
know. I
it's
know.
just been hard to like, and it's been hard to get like super motivated to do stuff. That's one of the reasons why I always like when the lip sync challenges pop up sometimes because it really will motivate me to want to do stuff, make content, and like one up Scott D. Henry and one up, or just try
Yeah.
and match Claudia or one of these people. You know what I mean? And it's all obviously, well, all good and fun with it, but it is good to have that motivation. But like on a day to day basis in 2024 on TikTok, it's it's such a different vibe than like even 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
like
I
it's so hard to get up and like like the motivation is a lot lower for me just because it's a much different app and audience and like not to
yeah,
like
that's true.
downgrade like my followers or anything, but I'll be honest, like over the last year, my follower count has not changed much at all. So it's like the same people. And not that I don't love them, I appreciate it, but I don't know. It's just such a different vibe on that app. Like so many people are gone,
Yep.
and it's like I'm not saying that I don't still enjoy it, but it's just not the same as it has been. And I mean, for me, obviously, how I've been physically this year, that's been a no pun intended, but a handicap dealing with that. But even now that I'm feeling a little bit better and I can do a little bit more, I'm still kind of like not pulling teeth, but it's still kind of like not as eager to make content as I was like 2 or 3 years ago, where it was like, yeah, this is it. Where now I'm like, I'm happy I'm feeling better and I want to do stuff, but I'm also like, is anybody gonna even see this? I don't know.
Yeah, no, you know what?
There's always that in the back of your mind. Is anybody gonna see this? Is anybody gonna
Right.
care?
I'm
Uh
glad, dude. I'm glad that you actually said that because I've literally been feeling the exact same way. Like it's just not, it's not the same. It's very, yeah, like you don't even know. I feel like to tell you the truth, I mean, maybe it's just because I don't, you know, maybe it's just because, yeah, like these things have just happened over the years and I almost said we've gotten older. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why would I stop? Wait, it's more about the fact that
well,
like,
we have.
well, yeah, I
Well,
know
we
we have. I
technically have.
no,
That is how time works.
we have. That's we have. But at the same time, like it's not even. I don't think it's even about that. I just like you were saying, the vibe and the energy is just not the same. And I think you and I are doing the best that we can to keep that energy.
Yeah.
But
And there's
we
a lot of
are.
people who are like that, but
Well, no,
it's
because I say that I say that because I know you the most
right.
along
Yeah.
with maybe three or four other people, right? I mean, that's about it. Like if there are other people like that out there who do have the same energy and they want to keep that energy on the platform, no matter how much it changes, then I am all for that. That's an instant follow for me. That is an
Hmm.
instant like me supporting your page. Like I will do the best that I can with all the time that with the time that I have to go into your page, go onto your videos, show some love, all that stuff. But yeah, even when we are feeling better nowadays, it's still to the point where, to your point, you're like, well, all right. I
It's
mean,
not yeah, it's just not the same. Like there's still like you want to create, obviously, because we are creators, and we want to make art,
yes,
and we want people to enjoy it. But there definitely is a different like there's definitely a different vibe and a different tone 2 or 3 years ago compared to how it is like this last year, I would say. And whether it's just how the app itself is, how the algorithm is, how like people who have come and gone, it's just there's just something a little bit off. Like I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it a lot. It's just not at the same level, I guess, as it used to be for me. Um, where it was like almost making it every like my everything. Where I was like, oh, as
right.
soon as I wake up, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I gotta do some stuff. I want to do this, and this. Where it's like now, I might not even open TikTok until like midway through the day. Whereas before, it was like that was like the first thing I'm gonna open. I want to see what videos are out. What what do people say about my videos? This what
Yeah.
Where now I'm like, I'll get to it when I get to it, and
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And if I get a
Can,
like, good idea, I'm like, yes, okay, cool. But I'm like,
can I just
there's
say,
just not that.
can I just say though,
Yeah.
like, I think we've actually grown in that, in that aspect though. Uh,
Mhm.
um, especially from a mental health standpoint, which, I'm actually, because as I was hearing you talk about it, I was like, yeah, but you know what? That's actually not a bad thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'll get to it when I get to it,
Yeah.
and I think that's like, again, we're always going to be like, um I don't want to say punished, but I feel like we will be, not, we're not heavily favored by the algorithm because of the decrease in frequency of how much we post, right?
Mhm.
Which unfortunately, like, and that's the way that I hate looking at it that way, because to me, like, someone who is like, realistically, like, even 3 days out of the week nowadays feels like a lot for me.
Mhm.
If I can get something out like 3 to 4 days, maybe even out of the week. Like, I I've looked at my page a couple of times now, and it's like, because you could see the gap between like how long you've had between posts and stuff. I think on average, like, it's almost like at least 2 to 3 days. This most recent funk I was in, like 5 days. So, but to me though, I don't. It's still not a bad thing, and I don't think that that is something that should make you relevant. Like,
Mhm.
I don't think that should be something. I don't think that should be criteria that makes it in the social media world, that like makes you relevant. You know, if you're not posting at all, I get it. Okay, that's a different story. Like, if you're not posting at all, then okay, whatever. But 3 to 4 days a week, man, like that to me, it feels like,
I think that's pretty standard. I
yeah,
definitely see a lot of creators who have like decent sized platforms that probably post about that, roughly about that,
yeah,
that get decent views, I think, but their follower count might be a lot higher, so that's might have something to do with it. But I mean, I still post pretty much every day,
yeah,
like something.
yeah,
It's a lot of the times it's not new, but I'm still posting something every day. And even like honestly, even posting old content is still stressful because I'm still just like trying to pick out which one I want
right,
to post.
right, because you
Sometimes
got
it's
to go
more
back through
stressful than making
everything.
an actual video. Yeah, because I go back to everything. And I'm like, oh, which one do I want to post? When did I post? I reposted this one like 2 years ago. So like, yeah, I can repost this again. All right, I reposted this like a year ago. All right, but like going through that, or it's like
Yeah,
because I go through cycles of like Fez videos
nope,
because
yep.
I haven't created a new Fez video in like 2 years. Like, but
Last Fez video I remember, dude. Last Fez video I remember was when we did it in a collab.
yeah, and I had already done my part like a
You're
year before
right.
that.
You you
It was already done.
you
That was basically a half a repost.
right.
We just had you do it, and and
Yeah.
edit it in. So it was like I remember because I was like I was going to repost that video
Yeah.
as one because it was two parts. I was going to repost it as one, and I was before I did it, I was like, oh, I don't have Jimmy do the other part, and then I
Yeah.
hit you up, and you're like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Of
So yeah,
course.
that was even done like a year before that. So like I haven't done a Fez video in forever, but like I will continue to like recycle them and repost one, and then people will be like, "Oh, you're so good. Why do you do such a good Fez?" I'm like, I don't know, and then that will start the train where I'm like, oh, and a week later I'll post another one, and a week later I'll post another one, but like figuring out which ones to come across, which ones to do, where I'm like, okay, well, I just did. And this is my brain going for whatever reason. I'm like, okay, I just posted a Family Feud video. I want to post another one. So what other videos can I post?
Yeah.
I haven't posted a Fresh Prince video in a while. Let me go through that archive,
Yeah.
and that becomes a thing. And I'm like, this is actually way more time consuming than probably a lot of people realize, or it needs to be, just because I'm a
Right.
sicko and psychopath going like, oh well, I just posted this Friends video. I can't post another Friends video. I'm like, oh,
Oh my God.
I mean, you could, Derek, but you really could, Derek, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've tried to like I've been doing a lot of these. Oh, I don't know if you saw those blind rank videos.
Yes,
I
I
have one that
have.
just
I have the candy ranking videos have been I got it. You know what? I need to start adding those to my content again as like fillers.
do it.
I will. I
Although
I need to
I
yeah,
warn you,
I know.
I warn you. I did I did a comedian's one,
Oh, okay.
and in the video, I said I literally, and I say this on all of the ones that I do from now on. The last like two or three I've said it, but I absolutely going forward it's a must. I'm literally saying if you don't like my list, argue with your mama because I don't want to hear it. Like I don't care. It's my list. Like I don't care
You have
what you
said
think
that.
about this. Like for one, for one, it's a game basically. It's not like I'm ranking my top 10
It's
of all
blind.
time or whatever.
It's a
Like this is
blind
literally just
ranking.
how exactly. So many people don't understand it when it hits their FYP.
Yeah.
Like because when I'm making this video, I'm just assuming this is going out to like my followers, and it's probably not even going to hit like 1,000 people.
Right.
This one
Right.
happened to hit a lot. It got like almost 100,000 views.
Oh.
Shockingly, I don't
Oh,
know why.
damn. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and while that sounds cool, unfortunately, you get a lot of idiots and who don't, who one don't follow directions because I clearly said I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't care
Argue
whether
with
you think Dave
argue with your
Chappelle
mom
is number
about
one
it.
or not. Argue with your mama. And I said in the follow up video, if you don't have a mama, if your mama ain't around, find a wall, complain to the wall because that as and if you're outside, just look up at the sky, yell at the clouds. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. Like, like you can make your own list. It's so
Do it.
it's very easy to
Write it
do.
down
Make
on a
your own
piece of
list.
paper. Write it
But
down.
like, so many people are like, yes, I don't. Are you familiar with Tony Hinchcliffe, the
It might be
comedian
one of those
Tony
things I got to
Hinchcliffe?
see
Are
his
you familiar
face.
with him?
I may have to see his face to recognize him, but nothing's
Okay,
ringing a bell right now, but that's okay.
I'm only familiar with him from the Tom Brady roast. He did a bit and it was really funny. It was great. I thought it was hilarious, but that's all I've seen of his. So he came up and I'm like, well, I don't really know this guy, so I'm going to put him at 8. I
Okay.
think that's very fair for not having seen any of his work other than one roast. And I put him at 8. If I don't know you, most likely I'm going to put you at 10 or 9. But I put him at 8. And I'm like, I feel like it's pretty generous. So many people were like, how can you put Tony at 8? You should be higher. Have you never seen Kill Tony? I'm like, did you watch? And I said to so many comments, I'm like, did you watch this video on mute? Because I clearly stated I don't know him. I've
Right.
seen one thing of his, and then yeah, and oh, I'm right in the right shirt. I was very petty,
Eddie, there you go.
and I was completely I was very petty, and I was responding to a lot of comments because people are so dumb. Uh, typically, I'm very calm. I'm a very calm, patient person for the most part. But when you act like an idiot, I'm also a big firm believer of fucking around and finding out. So if
Yep.
you say something dumb or come at me, I may clap back at some point because you got to know
Man has
you
his
can't get
limits.
away with all this. Yes, exactly. And I've been irritable. I've been irritable for
I've
this
been,
for a while.
sure. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I was clapping back when people were like, people were like trying to shame my like, this list sucks. I'm like, make your own list then, Dave. Like, what do you? I don't care. Like, I don't care if you don't like this list. And then people were like, well, if you don't care, why are you responding? Because you Muppets keep flooding my notifications. That's why I care. I don't care what you think about my list. I care about my notifications getting flooded with dumb comments
Oh
about
my,
shit I don't care about.
right. No, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
Chris Rock at 3, Chris Rock should be 10. Like, okay, then make your own list, Jennifer. I don't care. Like, so
Listen,
now,
Ron.
and I had somebody in the comments who exactly, and I had somebody in the comments who was like, "This list is terrible. Never make any lists again." So I was like, "Okay, well, now I got to make more lists."
Well,
So
now that
I
just gave
did.
me, you know what? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. Because now
Oh
I'm
my
going to
god.
make even more lists. And now that's going to piss you off even more. And that just draws more, that just draws more more attention to my list, my videos. So it's fine. It all works. It all works.
The amount of people who are like, I just like, do you not know how this works?
Why?
Even like, why are you commenting if you don't know how it works?
Well,
Because it's clearly
don't
like,
watch videos on mute. Like,
also that,
why even
like,
watch videos on mute? That is, what is the point? Nothing.
some dude literally, he literally like, uh, admitted, he's like, I did, Derek. I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you on TikTok watching TikToks on mute,
Like, what are you
dude?
doing then? Like,
What?
what is going on? Oh my God. I can't even, no. That's like
It's
if
like
people,
it's
like if
like
people
reading
were
a
going to
book in the
listen to
dark.
yeah,
What are you doing?
reading a book in the dark, that would be
Like,
listening to a podcast on mute. You can't. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
what are you doing, dummy?
What is going on? That's
Yeah, oh
unbelievable.
my god. Yeah, yeah. So that was like most of my day,
Well, thank you for the
like
warning.
Friday.
Thank you for the warning though. I appreciate it. I mean, hey,
I
that's,
like I really like I do enjoy doing them. They're fun,
yeah.
especially when you're like grasping for content and
Well, you got nothing
like
when you got
it's
nothing
just
else to
super
do.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I get
Oh
that. That would
yeah, and
actually,
like
yeah.
there's I gotta send you. I don't know if you've seen. There's this dude. I forget his name, but he does these, and he goes like so in depth, and it's
Okay.
so enthralling. Even if you disagree with it, by the end of the night, by the end of the video, you're like, hey man, I respect it because like I watched a video of his that went 10 minutes, 10 minutes almost.
Wow.
He was going that into detail. It was like the top. I think his was the definitive top 10 blind rank list of superheroes, and he was going so into depth.
Oh
And
my
it's like even
God.
if you disagree, you're like,
You're like,
and I
you
can't
got to
really, you know,
appreciate the attention to
exactly,
detail. Oh my God. Damn, 10
exactly.
minutes. He
Whereas
really took
me, I'm
advantage of the
like,
long form stuff.
bro, he sure did.
Oh my
But like a
God.
lot of his videos are like that. They're like super long, but he goes in so into depth, and people are so into it. And I'm like, oh yeah. But when I do it, I'm like, I'm trying to breeze through it, but also not like go too quick.
Right.
But I want to give
Right.
like a reasons, but not like go too. I don't want to go 10 minutes. Like that's
No, no,
I
no.
don't
I don't
expect
know.
people to pay attention that long.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
Like, uh, they are fun, but it's like I never would have thought in a million years that one of those videos would have fucking hit. Dane Cook commented on it.
Dane Cook
Dane Cook
commented. Oh my
commented.
God. I'll have to,
Yes. I was like,
I gotta go watch it then. I'll have to go watch it.
yeah, I was
That's
like,
great.
he was like, oh, it's like, oh, it seems like somebody's missing from here. And I was like, well,
Well,
and that was another thing too.
make your own
So many
list.
people exactly. So many people were like, oh, where's Louis C.K.? Where's this comedian?
He didn't
I
pop
had a
up
couple
on the
people were like,
damn thing. He didn't pop up on the damn thing. This is a blind rank. You shit. What is going on?
exactly. Why aren't there any women? I'm like, they're
I
probably on a
don't
different
know.
list. I don't know. I didn't make this. I didn't make it. What are you like? Are you people
Back
new? Are
off.
you new? I don't.
It is a blind ranking. You touch it,
Oh my
it's like
god.
a freaking, it rolls the dice. It rolls the dice every single
Ugh.
time. Every single time that you do it.
Like it was infuriating. And it was so funny when like the people who like follow me and or I'm friends with on there that would like come across it and they would leave comments and interact, being like, I can't believe these like Abby.
Oh
commented. She's
yeah.
like, I can't believe I she saw so I stitched my blind rank video to call out these morons in my comments because I was feeling some type of way. And she said, she's like, I came from the stitch of this, and she's like, I'm just here to read all these ridiculous comments.
Yeah,
I'm like,
my
it's
God.
unbelievable. Like, how do
Jeez.
y'all like? Why do you think people care what you like? And some people, "Oh, you think you're the only one who can have an opinion on the internet?" I'm like, no, but
No.
when I'm making my list, why would you?
What,
And these,
what
it's like I'm saying these are the greatest comedians of all time or greatest candy of all. Like this is just the list. This is the list.
I mean,
I
I was
didn't make
happy.
it.
Listen, I was happy to see that. I mean, you and I felt the same way about Reese's. Okay. We
Oh,
felt this. We
oh,
felt the same way.
goaded number one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, goaded
100%.
one. Sure.
100%. Before I,
Yeah.
like, I mean, this is, I mean, like, wait, that just, I have to ask this though. And it's completely random, but do you just want to like chug water after you're done eating a Reese's?
No, I want to eat another Reese's.
What?
That's what I do.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I want
Fair.
to chug more Reese's.
Fair. I would chug. It's fair. Okay. That is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
fair. For some reason, after I have a Reese's, I want to drink so much water, and the water for some reason tastes like heaven. I don't know if it's because
I
of the
can't.
chocolate. I don't know if it's because of the chocolate and the peanut butter both
Maybe.
mixed together, and then somehow the
Maybe.
water just makes it taste even better.
Mm. Are
This
you
is the
putting
most
the
random.
Reese's in the water?
Ooh,
That might be
no,
why.
no, no. If I do that, no. If
I
I do
wouldn't
that,
recommend doing that though.
I'm
I
not
wouldn't
going to
recommend doing
recommend.
that
I
though.
won't recommend that either. That's not a no, no. But you should try it
Speaking
sometime though.
real sidetrack real quick. Speaking of sidetrack real quick. Speaking of drinking stuff in water, um, I've been taking these turmeric balls. It's like turmeric, black pepper, and something else. It's supposed to help with like inflammation,
Hmm.
which is actually helping with my back. I saw somebody on TikTok post about it. It's not from the TikTok shop. This isn't a TikTok shop ad,
No,
but I came across this woman who she had been dealing with like severe sciatica, like I had, and she kind of came up with this recipe or whatever, and she started making this stuff, these turmeric balls or whatever, and it almost cured her like drastically, right?
yeah,
And I saw it like months and months ago, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I came across, I was like, I'm grasping at straws for things to try. So I tried it, right? And they're like tiny. They're like smaller than Skittles, right? And you take like 5 to 10, like like Advil or Tylenol, basically. And I went to take them the other night, and I had my water bottle, this little thing,
okay.
this little, and I'm drinking, and one fell out of my hand. It fell into this little hole. One of the tiny little balls fell into this hole,
No,
and I was like, I was looking for it on the ground. I'm like, where the fuck did it go? And I was like, I looked at my water bottle. I'm like, no, there's no way. Look how small that is. I was like, there's no, even though it's like a small ball, little tiny ball. I'm like, there's
what
no
are the
way it went there.
odds?
I open it, I open it up, and I'm like, oh, it's in there. And there was like probably half of the thing there. I'm like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get rid of it. So like, I had a straw in here somewhere. I literally had to like maneuver to like get the straw in there so I could like suck it up. So it was like at the bottom of the straw and like MacGyver it out of the. So yeah, that was I. It was it was ridiculous because it was like this was the I got this was after work. I got like my water at work way better than here at home. So like I didn't want to empty out. It was cold. I didn't, and it was like much fresher, and I didn't want to empty it out. So I was like, how else can I get it out of there? My hand can't fit in there. I'm like,
No,
oh,
straw.
straw. Even the
Ooh,
straw
straw.
didn't fit. Even the
My
straw didn't
God.
really fit. So like I had to like really like my strong hand in there and pinch it and pinch the. I was actually very impressed. It was literally one shot, and it was out. I was so impressed with myself, but I was like, why did I just?
Oh my God, that is the best.
Yeah,
That is the
yeah.
best thing.
Anyway,
Listen. I'm gonna say I think that's perfect to I think that's
That's
perfect note
genius,
to
right?
end on.
MacGyver right here.
You get to
I was like, yeah,
MacGyvering things out of water bottles, wearing cowboy hats while
with
vacuuming.
fucking straw.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
God.
That was yeah.
That was
I was very proud
unbelievable.
of myself.
Good. You should be. You should be.
It
Well,
was so unnecessary too.
it but wasn't
It
it though?
really was. Like any normal person would have just been like, all right, I'll just dump this out and get more water. But I was like, no, I like this water. This water is
I don't
better.
want another one.
And I'm
I
like,
want this one.
there's like half of the thing, half to three quarters of it in there. I'm like, oh, that's so much water to waste. There's so much good water to waste. I don't want to do that.
Nobody wants to waste it, man.
No.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not. Well, oh my gosh. Well, hey, as always, like just unbelievable. Just uh, these seriously, like at this point, I mean, these are like the best parts of my just one of the best parts of my days when like we just get together and just
Same.
record. Man, I'm being dead serious, and I'm glad that people are enjoying it. And if they're not, then argue with your mom about it. I don't know. Um,
There it is.
hey, had to do it.
And if your mom is not here, argue with the wall
Argue with the wall. Go argue with some clouds or
or the
something.
clouds.
Whatever you want to do.
Just
But
not us because we don't care.
I don't. I
Actually, we
just
do
don't
care
at
about you
this
guys, but
point. We do care about you. Yes, care about you people who are listening and watching this. We do appreciate you. So, all the
if you're
vibes.
upset about my list, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I'm
Back off
looking
about
at
the
you. I
lists.
don't care.
Back off about the list. Okay, I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. It's
Actually,
a
don't.
blind
I
ranking
mean,
for a reason. No, come back, but come back though.
yeah. I mean, the engagement helps. It does help with
It
the
sure does.
engagement, but
We actually need you, but we don't like you. But we need you. No, at the same time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but all the
yeah.
vibes, all the vibes with Jimmy and Derek. You guys have been, as always, totally just so much fun. Um, thanks for listening.
We
Thanks for
appreciate you
watching.
guys.
Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Yeehaw.